If I offered to personally help you get your coloring book idea out of your head and into your hands in the next 30 days, using the exact same process that helped me create and publish my first book in 5 days, then leverage my status as a newly published author to launch and leverage it to create 2 additional income streams in less than 6 months, allowing me to make more money faster than relying solely on one-off book sales on Amazon or Etsy. And I did it with no formal art training or prior design experience. Would you be interested? Hi, my name is Rodney, creator of the Coloring Book Creator Podcast. My first coloring book, Never Too Late to Make It Happen, inspired me to launch my first paid membership community and online course and coaching program that has helped over a dozen first-time authors create and publish over 30 titles and counting, while opening the door for a portfolio of additional income streams like launching a subscription box, landing paid speaking opportunities and offline teaching positions, and creating online courses and paid workshops. So the only question is, are you next? If you answered yes, shoot me a text to 415-851-1222. Again, that's 415-851-1222 and says, yes, I heard you on the podcast, and I'll respond within 24 hours with details on how to take advantage of this offer. Talk soon. You're listening to the Coloring Book Creator Podcast, episode 49. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about, actually more like imploring you to take email list building seriously. So stay tuned. Now, this is for you if you're working on a book, but you're not focused on starting or building an email list. And if you're not, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. Now, if you also have published a book and you are trying to get more sales, you're trying to get more contact with the people who are buying your book, maybe getting more relationships going with your book buyers so that you can be able to offer other things for them to purchase and work with you, you really need to stop until you do this. And again, it is launching and growing an email list. Now, first I want to go into why. This is something that I feel very strongly about. I've been in the internet marketing space now since 2006. Actually, one of the first programs I ever purchased when I first started learning about internet marketing was a course called eZine Marketing, or I think it was called eZine Newsletters or something to that effect. I can't remember the exact name right now, but it was by a prolific internet marketer at the time. Her name was Allie Brown. And I was fascinated by the course because at that time, keep in mind, this was 2006, so things were really just getting started. And at that point, already knew about websites and so forth. Actually, I was designing websites back in 2006. But email marketing, as we know it today, was really in its true infancy. No one was really talking about that. Now, we knew about print newsletters, but no one was talking about online newsletters where you actually would write up what you would print, but put it inside of a service provider, email, what I call an email management service, and actually have the newsletter go out to people on a weekly basis. And the thing that her course talked about was this was a great way to stay in touch with people who had expressed interest in your offerings, whether they were existing customers or potential customers. It was a great way to stay top of mind. It was far less expensive than doing anything print-wise, i.e. maybe buying a mailing list. Back in those days, people rented a mailing list and they would go get postcards printed or, something of that nature and then mail those out to people. And that was pretty much the norm back then. And then when the internet really started to take off, and these far more affordable options came on the scene, then it was like, why do we have to print everything? Why can't we just email people everything? And so services came along that would allow you to basically write your content, put it into a service, and then have it sent out to everyone. So everyone that was on your database would get this same newsletter or this email. What was even more exciting about it was it offered personalization functions. So you could write out whatever you're going to say to people, and then you could set up a system inside of the email that every time, so let's say you had 100 names on your email list, you could send out that one email and the program, the software would customize the name of the individual person to who was in the database. So I could send out the email to 100 people, and if I had their first name, I could put a code inside of that email and it would personalize that email to each individual person. I thought that was the most amazing thing. And of course, we still do that today. So again, for the speed, not having to wait to print something, having to go buy postage and mail it, and to be able to connect with my list, whether they were potential buyers or existing buyers at a moment's notice, just seemed like one of the best things ever. So again, I've always been a huge proponent of email marketing, but it is something that I've also, because at that time I had a photography business, I also found that, and I also had a lot of friends that were photographers, I found trying to get creatives to adopt this, to even wrap their head around it, sort of felt like pulling teeth. They really didn't fully understand it. How valuable would it be? Would it actually move the needle? And of course, as an entrepreneur, our power is in our ability to be able to stay top of mind. And that's the number one reason why developing an email list and regularly communicating with your email list is in and of itself so valuable. But not even just that. Fast forward 15, 16 years later, where this was, keep in mind, this was 2006, pre-anything social media. There was no real social media, I think, other than MySpace back in the day. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, all of these didn't even exist back then. The ability to be able to post something on a social media platform and get all these kinds of people to see your stuff wasn't an option. So again, that also is what made email marketing so valuable. Now, what I'm starting to see, and have been seeing, even in the midst of all of these massive developments in social media, is that as more and more people began to adopt social media, including entrepreneurs, the less that people started paying attention to email marketing. There are many who actually don't necessarily even believe in email marketing, because they'll say, well, does anyone even open or read emails anymore? And I'll tell you emphatically, yes, they do. I open emails every day. Maybe not one particular person's emails every day, but pretty much every day I'm opening someone's email. With social media, unless I'm going specifically to your page or your group or your profile, or unless I see something that you're posting and you're posting regularly, there's a really good chance, depending upon the time of day and when I go on there, I may not even see your post. And with email, at least it's waiting for me in that container, which is your email service if you're using Gmail or Yahoo or whomever, Outlook or whoever you're using. But it's also going to be there waiting for me there too. And I can always go find your emails by just typing in your name or your email address into the search bar, and all your emails come up. The bottom line about it is I'm not pro email marketing over social media. It's not versus either or. It's this and. It's both. You can send emails to your email list directing your email subscribers to your post on social media, which means that they will get more traction, more attention, and more comments. I always use this term all the time when I'm speaking about online marketing. I talk about the necessity of building an ecosystem. I'm not about pro this versus that. I'm about this and all of it. Again, I'm not saying don't post on social media, only do email marketing, or only do email marketing and forget social media. I'm saying synergize the two of them so that at the end of the day, it's about offering our people, the people that have raised their hand and said, yes, I want to hear from you, offer them a multi-layered experience so that they can connect with us in a variety of different ways. So again, I may miss your post on Facebook or wherever you happen to be, but if I see your email in my inbox and you got a link to that specific post you wanted me to see, I'm going to click over there and go check it out if it's of interest to me. All righty. The other reason why I implore you to start an email list and start taking email list building and marketing very seriously is continuing with the conversation on social media. There is a lot of contention in the respect that platforms change. Platforms come and go. Obviously, Facebook, Instagram, the big players, they aren't going to go anywhere. At least I don't anticipate them going anywhere. But you might. Now, what do I mean by that? Again, I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm not trying to use some fear-mongering here to get anyone's attention that's listening to this, but I would be remiss if I did not say to you that there is a very real possibility that for whatever reason, who knows exactly why, your social media accounts could be taken down. It has happened to people that are bigger names that have, maybe you're just starting out. So it doesn't matter about the size of your audience. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. It doesn't matter about anything. At any given point, at any given time, those profiles that you have built up over years, for whatever reason, could be taken away. And more often than not, we will never be told why. One of my earliest business mentors that I started working with back in like 2017, I think had built up his Instagram to over 10,000 followers. He's really big on Facebook marketing, more specifically ads. And last summer, I'm recording this in early 2024, so I'd say summer of 2023, for whatever reason, he still has not found out why, they took his Instagram account down. Now, this is someone, now, if you don't know this, Facebook and Instagram are all the same company. And this gentleman in particular has invested hundreds of thousands of dollars, not tens, but hundreds of thousands of dollars, and managed hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm going to go so far as to say over $1 million in ad sales, ad revenue, basically purchasing ads on this platform. And for whatever reason, he still does not know why, his Instagram account was taken down. Not his Facebook account, but his Instagram account. There was some violation that happened. They typically will never tell you what that violation is. There is no help desk, as you well know. You cannot call anyone or message anyone. You just won't know why your page or profile was taken down. So that in and of itself is what sparked this conversation because, well, I'm going to also continue this because specifically who I'm speaking to right now, which many of you listening are book authors, more specifically coloring book authors, but you can be any creative with a business online because what I'm going to talk about right now applies to both. There is, and I've done other podcast episodes about this as well, is that if you're selling your books on Amazon, and again, I'm not trying to fearmonger here, I'm just stating fact. There are situations that I know of where very prolific authors who have been doing, like I said, thousands of dollars in revenue for whatever reason, their Amazon accounts were shut down. Their KDP accounts were shut down. I've heard the same thing happen, and I know of some people on both Amazon and Etsy that have been shut down. Again, no rhyme, no reason why. Typically, you won't find out why. There's typically no one to ask or to tell you why. Again, not trying to fearmonger, just trying to inform you so you can make informed decisions. This is the number one thing that I say, and I'm very passionate about this, and I've done other podcast episodes on this topic. It is imperative in this time when there's so many options out there and so many more people entering. You know, after the pandemic, a lot more people started getting into online business now. So there's a lot more people out there right now. And perhaps some of the newer people that have come in may not know all of the rules of the game and how to play it. Who knows? But the bottom line is what I've been picking up on over the last 3 years in particular is that platforms are being far more scrutinizing. And so, again, keep in mind, these are computers that are running all of this. They've been programmed to look for certain things that could potentially be hotspot areas. Again, who knows? And all of a sudden, for whatever reason, we don't know why, your whole thing can be just taken down. I'm saying all of this to say, again, not to fearmonger. I want to make sure that I'm really being clear about that. Forewarned is forearmed. And it is imperative that we are not platform dependent. It is not good business, especially in this day and age, to be dependent on any platform, social media or Amazon or Etsy. There's a term that has been going around the internet, online business space, saying putting all of your assets on a platform, whether it's Facebook, Amazon, whomever it is like building your business on rented land. I liken it to building your house, your dream house, on a piece of property, on a plot of land that you don't own that lot. And you've built this home, you invested time and energy into it and sweat, and you furnish it the way you want. You've had your family come over and friends. You've done holidays. You've had neighbors that you enjoy, and life is really good. And then all of a sudden you go away on a trip or you come back and there's a hole in the ground where your house used to be, where your dream house used to be. Because the land that you built the house on wasn't yours. Now that's an extreme example, but that's essentially what's happening. When you're building your business on these platforms and you're platform dependent, and in the case of like in social media, if you don't have your own email list where you can actually send out an email to your list alerting them that something has happened, that your Facebook went down or your Amazon was taken down or your Etsy store was shut down, whatever those reasons are, you will have pretty much very little way to be able to contact people. And again, I personally know of people who this has happened to, and the email list essentially allowed them to be able to stay in communication while they rebuilt, while they pivoted. So that's one of the reasons why, with two things. You're going to eventually want to have a website, period. But before you even get into the website, I just had a conversation with someone recently that I'm going to be bringing on the podcast in the next possibly 30 days or so from me recording this, where we're going to be talking about how to build that website. But one of the things that she and I both got clear about is the website is, again, like building that dream home. But in the meantime, while you're building the dream home or while you're planning the dream home, you got to start collecting materials. Your email list and that one-page website that I'm going to talk about a little bit more in this episode is the beginning of gathering your tools that will lead to your dream home. So again, I really cannot stress and emphasize enough the absolute sheer and utter importance of you adopting a mindset that I want to have at least some kind of a front-facing online experience where I can send people that have expressed interest in what I have, or even those who have not expressed interest, but I want to introduce them to me. You want to send them to this one-page website where they can give you their contact information and you can start building your email list. And I will even go a step further with it. If your books are, say, already on Amazon or Etsy or whatever the case may be, in your marketing, whether it's verbal or whether it's written, I would send everyone to my one-page website first and get them on my email list and then direct them to where they can go buy my book. Because you think about it, if you send someone to Amazon directly, that URL, that link at the top, is a bunch of codes and jibber jabber. No one's going to know what that link is. And of course, going to Amazon and telling someone to search for your book is cumbersome. People may or may not want to do that. But if I send them to my one-page website that I've used a branded link for that page, I send them there. They give me their name and email address. They get directed to a thank you page where then my button is there to send them over to Amazon or to Etsy or wherever, or my own, if I have Shopify, wherever my products, or my own website, wherever I have them listed, At least I have got the contact. Now, I want to speak for a moment about contacts. If someone finds your book in this context on, let's say, Amazon, and they purchase your book, you will know that a sale happened because Amazon, when you go look in your KDP account, will show you the commission that you're going to get for the book sale. Great, that's fine. But you know what's more valuable than that money that you just made from that book sale? I hope you're finding value in this episode. I just want to take a moment to tell you about a special workshop I'm hosting called How to Set Up a Simple One-Page Website designed to help you pre-launch your book as you're creating it. And here's why I'm doing it. So many creative entrepreneurs, unfortunately, make list building a low priority when actually it should be, next to creating your work, one of your highest. Why? Because platforms are changing every second. What's hot right now may be out the window, possibly by the time you finish listening to this episode. But do you know what will never go out of style? Your email list. This is something no one can take away from you. A social media platform or seller can close your account. But with proper preparation and positioning, you can be ready to keep your business going with a simple email. No algorithm worries, no platform freezes. And that's why I created this special workshop. This is not a watch me type training. We are going to be rolling up our sleeves and setting up your first contact list, your one-page website, and a welcome email sequence that will automate. So when a new subscriber gives you their contact info, they'll receive your instant response from you. The bootcamp will conclude with a special bonus workshop where we'll craft your first welcome email sequence with the power of ChatGPT. And the best part, you get to keep lifetime access to the recordings at the end of each session, plus all of my scripts, templates, and checklists. And it's all yours for just a one-time payment of only $97. So affordable for everything you get. Click the link in the show notes for a complete outline and registration link. And even if you can't make it live, if this training speaks to you, register and I'll personally make sure that you have everything you need to create your first one-page website, launch, and grow your email list. Now back to the episode. The contact information from the buyer. It is far easier to get someone to buy something else from you who's already bought from you before. When someone finds your product on Amazon and purchases it, yes, Amazon pays you out, but they will never, ever tell you who that person was that bought that book. I break it down to say this. The person who owns the contact information and the credit card, it's their customer. If someone buys your book on Amazon, yes, they bought your book, but that's Amazon's customer. That's Etsy's customer. Well, Etsy's different because Etsy, typically we're shipping stuff ourselves. So I don't really want to say that about Etsy, but with Amazon for sure. That's Amazon's customer. It's not your customer. They hold the credit card. They hold the contact information. Now, what we can do to turn the tide in our favor, if your book is already published on Amazon, and I tell all of my authors this in my Coloring Book Creator course, one of the first, I'd say 3 pages of your book should be a page dedicated to how to get in contact with you. And I'll even take it a step further. I will say, put in your own book what I would call a one-page ad in your own book, offering something additional for free. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that someone's purchased your book and you're now working on a new book and you've got some pages ready to go. What you can do is set up this one-page website that I've been speaking about. You can do a page inside your current physical book. Even if the book is already published, you can go in and update your manuscript and re-upload it to Amazon KDP. So don't worry if you say, oh, my book's already published, I can't do this. Yes, you can. So you go back into your file, You put in this one page sort of ad inside your book offering these additional free pages. In the context of who I'm speaking to right now, authors of coloring books, journals, planners, all of it falls in the same category. So obviously the best lead magnet is what we call a freebie, or lead magnet would be free pages. So you can put an ad in your own existing book, offering them 2 or 3 pages, whatever you want to give them, offering them those pages in exchange for contact information. So you would put a single page inside the existing book, and you can create what's called a QR code. The QR code is a graphic that you can make, and you can do them inside. There's other tools out there, but Canva is where you can do it. And what you do is you put that code inside your manuscript, upload that, and then someone can take out their camera, their phone, turn on the camera, point their camera at that QR code, and it automatically will pop up on the phone the link to where your one-page website lives. They will then be directed to that one-page website. Then you can get the name and the email address. They hit the send button. They get directed to your thank you page, where then you can invite them to join you all over your ecosystem. Your ecosystem can be where you are on Instagram, where you are on TikTok, where you are on YouTube, every other resource you have available. You can have a list. If you're familiar with Linktree, Linktree is a tool that allows you to sort of build like a directory of all the different ways to contact you. You can build that inside of your own one-page website system. It's actually a 2-page website, but to keep it simple, I'm going to just speak of it in that way. Now, why you would not want to just give the person the pages that they just requested. The reason why we don't want to give them the pages they just requested immediately is because we must educate them to go to their email to get the thing they requested. The reason why we do that is because we are trying to educate and train, let's say in this case, I'm going to use Gmail for an example, to get the person to open our email and engage with it. Whether or not anyone has ever spoken to you about this or not, the email service providers, Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, all of those also have algorithms. They feed us emails based on emails we've interacted with and opened in the past. So by inviting your person who just opted in to get those free pages to go over to whatever email they used, to go over there and open that email to get the thing that we gave them, it is now seasoning, let's say Gmail or Yahoo, whomever it is, or Outlook, that, okay, emails from this person, they want to see that. This reduces the chances that the future emails you send out will then get caught up in spam at worst, or regulated to the promos tab at best. Okay? So again, that's the reason why we want to do that. But now what's happened is you will know, first of all, you can have multiple one-page websites. You could have a one-page website that you tagged specifically for people who bought your book, who have a copy of one of your existing books. So you will know that everyone that went to that particular webpage and put in their contact information, you know that either they own your book or at least they've been in physical communication with, in contact with one of your already existing books. So the way then now you're able to speak with them is going to be very different than someone who maybe has not heard of you before. You can ask them questions like, what book did you get? Or did you enjoy? What did you think about page 34? I talk about this at great length inside of my program, my Coloring Book Creator Mentor program. But in the meantime, I just want to say that being able to communicate with your customers or potential customers in that way is absolute priceless. And again, you're not going to get that in pretty much any other medium, that level of intimacy, unless it's in real estate that you own. Your email list is real estate that you own. Now, could your email list potentially be compromised in some way? Yes, But the only context that I know of after 15 plus years of doing this, that your email list could be compromised, and I know no one that this has ever happened to, is if you are loading emails into your system that has not expressly said that they want to hear from you. By someone going to your one-page website and giving you their contact information, they themselves are raising their own hand and saying, I want what this person has to offer and I want to hear from them. What you don't want to ever do is just go load people into your email management software that has no idea who you are, and you're just mailing them. And then what happens is you start getting all these spam complaints. Again, rarely will anyone ever do that. And I'm sure you would never do that. But that's the only way really you're going to get banned from a service provider, is that the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to go out and buy a list of emails. You don't want to do that because you can't do that. Actually, it's against the law to do that. So 9.999%, that's never going to happen to you. So again, those contacts you own. All righty. Now, going back to what I was saying at the top, is that this is a platform you own. Your email list is a platform you own. So I hope, if nothing else, that I've shared with you during this episode that you've gotten is the importance of it. It is a foundational thing that you absolutely must have. And again, even taking it beyond coloring books, it doesn't matter if you've got a brick and mortar business, if you got a bakery, if you got a retail shop, if you sell jewelry, if whatever it is that you do, you need to have an email list. It's just not good business not to have it. Now, with all of that said, what I do want to do is I want to tell you about something and an opportunity to get this set up. I recently just ran a boot camp on how to set up a one-page website and how to set up your email list and get that process started. And so I just wrapped up that boot camp, and you can get access to that. I broke the whole system down. It's not complicated at all. I go into how to build a one-page website. I go into how to use it to promote your existing book or future book that you're even thinking about creating. I go into how to set up your email list. I go into how to set up those automated emails that go out. It's called an autoresponder. I show you how to set all of that up. I even show you how to write the emails that go into the autoresponder. Part of one of the things I offer in this particular course is I give you the framework for what I call a welcome email. And I give you that template, and then I give you instruction on how to customize it based on what you're offering, your ecosystem, like where else can people find you. I give you instructions on how to customize that template. Then I show you how to go into ChatGPT and how to season ChatGPT with that customized welcome template that I gave you, and a couple of different prompts we give it, and we season it to then write other more emails for us. To me, a good welcome email sequence should be at least about 5 emails. So when someone goes to your website, your one-page website, and they fill in their contact information, they are then going to get what I call the first welcome email. That email goes out immediately. That is welcoming them into your world, into your ecosystem. It's giving them the thing that they asked for, that they requested. It's giving them some additional support, some tips, maybe some different ways to get more experience out of the thing that you gave them. Also, other ways to contact you, your ecosystem, TikTok, Facebook, wherever else you happen to be. All right. Then after that welcome email that they get right away, there is up to 4 additional emails that also get sent out. Those can go out in succession. So one day after another for a period of 5 days total. You can space it out more if you wish. And each of those remaining emails builds on an experience that you are creating. The experience you're creating is you want people to use the thing that you gave them on the first email they got. So if you're giving them free pages on the first email that they received, now we can use that welcome email template and ChatGPT to basically write us like a little mini experience, like a little mini course, if you will. Each building upon the thing that you gave them and how to get more out of the thing that you gave them. And that's the beauty of this whole system. So what you're doing is you're not just coming at them from buy more stuff, buy more stuff, buy more stuff, but get more value, get more experience out of what I've already given you so that they feel more of a connection to you. And then you can just very subtly suggest, even in your PS or your postscript, or there's ways to set it up in the email where you can direct them over to where they can go buy your book if your book is actually already published and ready to go. Now, if the book is in production, you haven't actually finished it yet, you can still take advantage of this strategy, because what you can do now is invite the people who have gotten those free pages, received those free pages from you, to be able to get behind the scenes into your process of creating the book. This in and of itself is gold for creators because people are fascinated by the creative process. So as you're choosing the different pages that can go in the book, you can do a little video, something maybe you do on Instagram, maybe a reel or something like that, or a story you do on TikTok or something like that. If let's say you come up with 3 or 4 different covers that you want to have for the book, you can do a post on your Facebook where you post all the options and ask people to vote on the cover that they like. That's a way to create synergy between what you're emailing and what you got on social media. Again, that's just a couple of examples. There's a lot more that you can do, but these are the ways that you can start to build a relationship and a connection with the people that are on your email list, even while your book is in production. Okay? So again, I'm just going to say it one last time. Do take list building seriously. It is going to be the thing that is going to help you to grow. It's going to help you to get clearer about the people in your tribe. It's going to help you develop more things that they will like and want to buy. You can be assured of having a solid way and a platform that you own and control of always being able to stay top of mind in communication with them. And it doesn't matter what level that you're at. This is one of the first foundational things that I say everybody needs that is doing business online or off. And if you agree with what I'm saying and you are ready to move forward with that, I am absolutely beyond thrilled to actually help you. Now, as I said before, I just wrapped up a boot camp that I just finished up. But what I'm going to talk about here is how to get some direct support from me. So as I said a moment ago, I created a program called the Email List Builders package. That package includes everything that I just talked about, soup to nuts, from how to set up the one-page website, how to set up the thank you page, what to put on all of those pages. I go into how to set up your ecosystem. I go into how to create that welcome email template and craft it so it's got your verbiage, your language, your messaging, and then how to season ChatGPT to take what I've written, what you've written, put it in there and have it write the remaining emails that you need, and how to plug everything into the email management service that you can get it all set up fairly quickly, like I'd say in an afternoon. It won't take you a long period of time. Now, this program, like I said, goes into all of the things that you need, A to Z, soup to nuts. It is everything to launch and grow the email list with interested buyers of your current and future books, products. If you do courses or offer services, you get all of that. You get bite-sized video tutorials, checklist, email template, including, as I said, a bonus tutorial on how to use that welcome email to write your sequence. And I show you how to plug that inside of the service that I use, and how to even create that freebie that you're going to give people. Again, usually pages from your existing book or forthcoming book. I also give you a newsletter and launch planner and a monthly calendar so that you can plan out what you're going to communicate with your list as it grows each week. Because again, I recommend at least one email a week to your list past the welcome sequence that they receive. And all of it is available to you for just $97. You get the whole course, soup to nuts, everything you need. And it's all delivered inside of a private Facebook group, which I'm active in. So I will support you there with any questions and things that you might have. Now, I decided to do something extra, which might be a little crazy, but I want to do it because I'm extremely passionate about this. And I want to make sure that you get what you need. If you're serious about this, I want to make sure that you get set up the right way. So at the time I'm recording this, in late February, almost early March of 2024, in addition to when you decide to pick up the Email List Builders Package program, I actually will set this up for you, meaning I will set up your one-page website. I will set up your follow-up system, including the emails. I'll set the whole thing up for you. Alrighty. So therefore, you will still have access to the course and all the training materials and all the bonuses and everything in the Facebook group. All that'll be there for you. But I want to make sure that you're set up properly. And I don't know how many of these I'm going to be able to take on. So I'm suggesting that if you're listening to this and this is something that you go, okay, for $97, I can't afford to let this slip by because not only do I get the training, but he's actually going to set it up for me. I could take this away at any time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the link to where you can go sign up for it. It is if you go to emaillistbuilderspackage.com, and it's all one long word. So emaillistbuilderspackage.com. The link is inside the show notes. You can go over to that page. You see everything that you get. If that price of $97 is still available, unless I've changed it, it's still available. When you make your purchase, you'll be directed to join the course Facebook group. I will then reach out to you to arrange a one-on-one Zoom session for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. All I will need to know is what is your book about? Where is it located? If it's on Amazon, or what's the future book going to be about? And do you have pages I can use for your lead magnet? Basically, that's it. I will give you the welcome email template, which I will need you to go in to customize, and I'll show you how to do that. It's real simple. And then you get that back to me. And while you're working on that, I will build out the landing page. I will build out the thank you page. I'll also get some information regarding where else you are on social media and all of that. I'll build that part out for you. You get that customized welcome email template back to me, then go through ChatGPT to get that set up, and then we'll get the remaining emails done, and then put everything inside of your autoresponder and get it set up and ready to go. Alrighty? So again, you're getting the course plus one-on-one done for you support for $97. If I had someone offer this to me, I would have jumped on this as fast as I heard about it. The bottom line is, if you're not tech savvy, this takes a lot of time because you just don't know what you don't know yet. But the reason why I wanted to set you up, because I want you to be inspired and motivated to keep going. Once you see it done, you will go, I want to keep this up. And so I don't want you to be stuck and frustrated and trying to figure out, okay, what did he say to do? And where do I find this? And again, all of the videos are inside of the Facebook group. But I want to go ahead and just kind of quick start you to get you going and show you what's possible. Then you can go back through the videos inside the Facebook group and then go back and then replicate it for future ones that you want to do. And of course, you can always ask me questions. I'm always available to support you anyways. I won't leave you alone. I'm just saying that the done for you part of this is only going to be up until my calendar book's out, and then I either am going to pause it or stop it. It just depends. So if you listen to everything that I've said, and on some level you're nodding your head and saying, yes, I need to move on this, go to emaillistbuilderspackage.com. Emaillistbuilderspackage.com. The link is in the show notes. It will take you over to a page where you can see everything that you get. There's a button there that you can purchase. It's $97. As soon as your transaction goes through, you'll be directed to the Facebook group. It's a private Facebook group, so I will have to approve you. In addition, I will reach out to you to arrange our one-on-one session to get all the materials I need to get your one-page website and everything set up. This is literally me doing everything that I can to make sure that you're properly set up and that you're good to go. And I would love to help you. If you're serious about getting this done, I'm serious about helping you get it done. There's more on this subject I'm going to be speaking about, but I just wanted to do this because I want to make sure that you hear in my own voice how passionate I am about this and how important and vital this is to the health of your business. And again, I don't care if it's online or off. I don't care if you're selling coloring books or not. If you're listening to my words, do take email list building seriously. It will actually be the thing that will save you if, God forbid, something happens to your existing platform or whatever you've got going on. So with that said, this is Rodney Washington, your host, signing off.